for years. She's already eating. This is the third episode of La Snacka de Chata. The Snack Chat. Really? And we are back and we're so excited. Today's snack is one of our favorite things.
Our molten chocolate
lava cake. This is dear to our heart because we have been partaking in eating this since we were probably freshmen or sophomores in college.
We just go places and eat it.
And just eat it. Whenever we were sad, we would both be like, do you want a lava cake? Because I think you do.
One time though in college I got really sad and my roommate made me a bowl of just cheese and bacon.
Well, that's good too.
It was delicious.
A cheese and bacon lava cake.
But I know that there seems to be a theme on our show, chocolate. We do love chocolate, but I do solemnly swear that next week I'm gonna cook.
And she's gonna cook, and I'm gonna eat.
I'm gonna cook a snack.
So let me taste this thing. So this molten chocolate lava cake came from Publix.
I don't know if you have one in your region.
Publix is like a fancier Harris Teeter, if you have that.
It's just like
we in the South, y'all.
A mid-upscale grocery store. It's not like super bougie, but it's also not like your bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, we're in the South. Charlotte, North Carolina.
You couldn't tell?
She has an accent. I don't.
I don't have an accent.
I do. You're a little country.
Everybody loves a Southern Belle. Anyway, we really have to like focus on the show.
Okay, but this cake is real good.
It's delicious.
Okay, so we are going to talk about Love After Lockup.
You told me it was Life After Lockup.
Sorry, Life After Lockup.
This is a different series.
I did just go in on her about that, so excuse me. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Life After Lockup, which is the follow-up kind of sequel to Love After Lockup. They had so many shenanigans with the second season that they was like, y'all, we can't put all this in one season, so we gonna do Life After Lockup.
We need additional show. So the couples featured on this show are people that you met during Love After Lockup. We have Michael, Megan, and Sarah, which is the throuple. Those are the three people. They're my favorite. That's why I said them first. We have Andrea and Lamar, or Baby Nug, as he's known in rap, I guess, for anybody who listens to him.
In the rap world.
Yep. We have Clint and Tracy, his goddess. Who else?
And Marcelino and Brittany.
Okay. I always call them Marcelino and Barnes. Shout out to Jay Nexty.
Who is there? Oh, and Lizzie and Scott.
Lizzie and Scott, yeah.
So, that should be everybody. I was just telling P that, and by the way, if this is your first time tuning in, my name is Courtney with a K.
I'm P. Nelly.
Okay, so I was just telling P that I wish that they put Garrett and Jonna. If y'all are like day ones of this show, then you remember Garrett and Jonna were like the first people on the show. And I know they're not together anymore, but I mean the show is called Life After Lockup, and I thought maybe we could like see what Jonna was doing and what Garrett was doing because they were funny.
They were hilarious. They made for great television. Garrett had a black scent. Y'all remember him? And I don't even think it was fake. I think that was really who he was.
That's how you talk.
Baby.
Yeah. But anyway, getting back to this Life After Lockup, we're going to start with Epi 2.
Episode 2.
Did you like Epi? How I said Epi? That's cute.
Sure. Okay. Episode 1 was more like a catch-up, so we don't really need to go into detail about that. Right. It was just like, hi, we're here, we were hot mess. The last time you saw us, now you see us again. And I think most of these people, if not all of them, were featured in last season, weren't they? All of them?
Except for Lamar and Andrea.
Yeah. Lamar and Andrea are season 1 cast members. But episode 2 is when we get into the meat of things. So what couple do you think we should start with?
Let's start with Clint and the Goddess!
So Clint is, if you watched last season, Clint, we don't really know what's wrong with Clint. Clint's mother holds his credit cards. He's been married twice before his goddess, Tracy. And he seems to have like some sort of problem. Although Clint got on the internet and let y'all know, don't come for she, okay? He said he is not handicapped in any way mentally, and he's not on any sort of drugs. That's the latter. I beg to differ. He looks about like Tracy, who is his wife.
I think that Clint is on meth.
You think so?
He looks very methed out to me. His face. I heard that like when you're on meth, like it's kind of like creates like a crater face.
H will do that too, though.
Who?
Heroin.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're clearly not on the drug slang.
I don't know the street names for the drugs, but I guess M and H. Do they call it M?
No.
Okay. I'm done. Go ahead.
It's not a thing. Anyway, he looks like he's on some sort of drugs. Clint has some kind of problem. I'm not sure what it is, but he met his wife who is on crack. She was locked up.
MF and crack. That's what
Very different.
That's what he said when his last season when his mom was like, What could have happened? He was like, MF and crack. That's what happened.
He really said MF?
No, he said the words.
Oh,
I was trying to keep it
okay.
clean for the kids.
I'm like, whoa, he is edgy. But anyway, she's on crack. The night they got married, she stole all this stuff and left him in the hotel room. So I thought that when we came back to this season, surely I didn't expect to see Clint anymore because I thought him and his goddess were going to be broken up. That's what he was calling her.
I feel like Clint and Tracy going to be together forever and ever and ever.
Well, this season finds Tracy in a halfway house. She's almost done with her parole. Isn't that a halfway house that she's living in?
No, that's Clint's house.
Ooh,
A
child.
halfway house.
The ghetto.
I'm done.
Ooh, why would you think
That
that
was
was
a halfway house.
Why would I think it was a whole house?
It looked like a crack house. That's what it looks like. His house is horrible.
It looks like the bane of someone's existence.
Yes. So we find her living at Clint's house.
Shay Clint.
And we find her looking like she looking.
She's looking like she's looking
a hot mess.
So Clint's mother, the one who holds his credit cards and seems to be his caretaker, has made it very clear that Clint can be stupid all he wants to, but she's not stupid.
She ain't having it.
She don't want nothing to do with it.
She said,
Don't
bring that trash to my doorstep.
Don't sleep your trash in my front yard, my front yard, my front yard. Don't sleep your trash in my front yard, my front yard's full. Okay? And his mama got a nice house. So I can see why she don't want crackhead
She said,
Tracy
don't
over
bring that crackhead over here so that when y'all break up for the 90 million times she come over here and ride me. No.
And so to his mother's credit, it's not like she just doesn't like Tracy because she's a crackhead.
Exactly.
She doesn't like Tracy because she's a crackhead who robbed her son.
And she's like, you're not about to mess up nothing I got going over here that I have worked hard for in my deli dynasty. Like, we're not doing this.
She got a deli?
Yeah, that's what they did something with me.
Oh, child, I was wondering why that house was so nice.
I think they have a whole delicatessen.
They are business owners.
Yeah.
Okay. She looked like she worked in a deli.
Or it's a barbecue place or something. It's something with some meats.
But the whole crux of this week is that even though his mom said don't bring her over here, he tries to bring her over.
He tries to bring her over there. And then she's like, they pull up to the house, okay, and he's like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to try to make my mom, want to talk to you or whatever. And she's like, make it happen, Clint. Make it happen. And he gets out, and then she gets out in her 2006 Kmart fashions.
Oh, brief caveat, something that you need to know. Everyone in this episode, everybody is
was
dressed.
Filmed in 2006.
In the 2006 City Trends commercials. The whole thing.
Time warp.
City
I don't know
Trends.
what was going on with this entire episode.
Clint got on a belt chain.
We
She got
gonna
like the colored bang.
We're going to go through all the fashions so that you guys really start to see what we're talking about.
Everybody.
But you probably thought you was watching something from 2006. You wouldn't. It was this year.
No. They all looked like extras and white chicks. The whole cast.
It was horrible.
It was terrible.
Anyway, going back to what we were talking about. So yeah, so he goes in the house and he's like, Mom, because that's how he talks. And she's like, oh, hey, Clint, how are you, son?
Did she do that?
Yeah, they did a little pat pat.
Oh, okay.
And so,
That's how his mama talks. Great impression.
And so he's like, yeah, I just was I was stopping by. I got Tracy in the car.
Oh, he said he was in the neighborhood.
Right.
He lied, first of all.
Because I ain't got no daggone neighborhood.
No, they live on some street. The house is nice, but it ain't in no neighborhood. So he says he was in the neighborhood.
Lies.
And Tracy was with him. Like, he didn't intentionally
Like,
go to this house on this dirt road.
With Tracy.
I thought they lived in Texas. Courtney,
she don't know where nobody lives on this whole. I'm like, have you been watching the show? I'm like, oh, it looks like that in Texas. Heifer, they are in New Mexico.
Like, ain't no grass, ain't no life. You know what? You better be glad I know their names.
Whatever.
I'm terrible with names.
Anywho.
I think I said that on a previous episode.
Yeah, she did.
Bad was geography too.
Apparently. But anywho, yeah. So she's like, she's with you here now? And he's like, yeah. And then Tracy's standing out there looking like she
crazy. You know it's hot too.
Yeah, it's hot. And why they dress like that?
They got on jeans and long sleeve shirts. I don't know.
Anyway, but so mom was like, no, I told you don't bring her around here. I don't want to talk to her. She needs to do a lot before I even pretty much open up my mouth to say anything to her, look her way, whatever. Don't bring her around here.
Clint's mama is a lot nicer than me as a mother because I am a mother, and I would have been like, can you not hear? You didn't hear what I said? Do we need to go get you
Clint
checked?
need a black mom because she said what she said. Go run tell that. Don't bring her to my house. How about that?
If he had a black mom, he would have went to one of his friends and been like, can you ask her? Go ask my mama, can Tracy come over? She won't say no to you.
That, and if it was, a hood mama, she would have been sitting on the porch when they pulled up, so. No, that wouldn't have happened.
No, Clint, I done told you, this is bad energy.
Exactly. So anyway, that's pretty much what goes on with Clint and Tracy. So Clint runs out the house with the tail between his legs and goes back and tells his goddess that his mama says she trash and you can't come in my house.
And Tracy had the nerve to be like, I get his mom's angry, but she ought to be like ashamed at the fact that she hasn't even tried to forgive me, which makes me, that's addict talk, right? You're always going to be an addict, but that is addict in addict mode talk because she's not taking responsibility or ownership for her actions. You just robbed her son like a year ago.
Exactly. And you want her to invite you into her house looking like you dressed up like Avril Lavigne for Halloween.
You rob it to my baby. I'm gonna bring it to your cell because you ain't got no house. I can't bring it to your front door. I'm gonna bring it to your cell. You ain't even gonna be worried about coming to my house. You gonna be trying to hide from me because I'm gonna beat you up.
I'm done. But anyway, this concludes Clint and Tracy trying to ruin the Deli dynasty.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens with that. But
as
far as I know, mama ain't having it. I ain't seen daddy or the dog, and the dog ain't having it. The dog is like, I'm not gonna be a part of this.
And the daddy was like,
and the dad was like, I don't have time for this. I'm going to go play golf. I feel like he plays golf.
He going to play golf.
But
they ain't got no grass in New Mexico, so I don't know where he played.
So, I don't know. Put. So anyway, next couple we're gonna talk about is Lizzie and Scott.
So Lizzie and Scott are not together right now. So it feels weird to even call them a couple because they're not even together.
True. Okay, the next people we're gonna talk about is Lizzie and Scott.
So you want to talk about Scott first or Lizzie first?
Let's talk about Lizzie.
Okay. Lizzie is a mess. That's all you need to know.
Lizzie's a hot mess. Again, we are looking at our 2006 fashions.
Girl,
and she was showing
her daughter because
they're getting ready. She's getting ready to go on a blind date, and she's like, "Oh, meeting men on online dating now that I'm out of jail is totally different. But I can meet a man because I have big boobs, and so that's what I just put on my profile. And I'm going on a blind date now."
So we gonna call her titties galore, okay? That was the focus of her outfit, and she's busy holding up all these fashion sense fashions, asking her daughter like, "Does this look good?" And her daughter's like, "That looks great.
That one looks great." Why she's asking her daughter about fashions, I don't know.
Don't neither one of them know nothing they need to know.
No.
It's bad. I understand that we have on t-shirts this week.
She's like, I got on a little skirt and this little top, and I was just like, this looks like
Ashanti in the Happy video.
Exactly.
What
is this?
What is this tennis skirt? Are you going to play tennis?
Like, you look like you were on, what's that movie? Who's Your Caddy? It's a mess.
Oh Lord, I never saw that. Wasn't that big boy from the Parenthood in there?
Oh, yeah.
Who was in there? Okay.
So, Wendell. Uncle Wendell.
Wendell.
Faison Love. Anyway, so yeah, so she's getting ready to go on this date, and she's showing the fashions, and she picks out which one she's gonna do, and she is just talking about how she is ready to get back out there and everything, and then
I think she met this dude on a free dating app because she talks about how you can't really control the caliber of men you meet on a free dating app, but
I have a question. Okay, hers was not a blind date.
Well,
She
I guess
saw
it
this
wasn't really
man.
blind. She just didn't know him. Okay, right?
Okay, but I'm not saying it to check you. I'm just saying because I thought that she had said it was a blind date in there. But if you're talking to somebody, unless he was one of them creepers that didn't have a picture.
I was wrong. I admit it. But you know, this is my advice to Lizzie. I'm pretty sure that she can't get on, but she needs to be on like the league or something, right? If you want the caliber of man she wants, she needs to be on like the league. Either the league or sugarbaby.com, but she's a bit old to be a sugar baby.
Sugar grandma.
Sugar grandma or the league. But you know, the league has like restrictions, you know?
She's restricted.
You gotta get accepted.
Yeah, she ain't accepted.
But anyway, she goes on this date with this
sweet man.
And you know,
he is sweet, I know.
And he looks a little bit young.
And he looks very young. He looks like he's about 24.
He's got on like the sweater with the shirt coming out of it. You know, I don't even know how to explain
He comes up and...
But he looks
like... Hi, you look great. And they're at like some bar or something like that. Or I don't know. This whole date looks
looks like he buys shirts on sales at JCPenney's. But he's there and he proved us right later on. So he's there. Lizzie, I'll give it up for her. She's real. So she leads with the fact that, one, she's not drinking, which is wonderful. If you know anybody who's ever been an addict, and you see them drinking, that's probably not a good idea. So she doesn't order alcohol. He's like, it's a Friday night, you're not drinking. And she was like, well, honey, I was on heroin in prison. And he was like, wait a minute, in prison?
Yeah.
Like, bro, what did she say? She said in prison. I mean, how many other ways are there to say in prison? So,
I wonder what's on Lizzie's profile. Like, what is her...
They showed her picture when she was at work, but I think you were over there.
Not her picture. Her about me section.
Titties.
That's all it says in there. Tell me a little about yourself. Titties.
Look, all you need to know, because this is what y'all here for anyway. Okay? Lizzie knows how to give it up. She wants the cash. You want the boobs.
There you go.
But she leads with that, and I think that's important. I know that people say that you shouldn't reveal too much of yourself too soon.
But you should tell that.
That is as bad as it gets, and people need to know. Right? So she lets him know, I was on drugs, I can't drink anything, and I was in prison. And after that, he seems visibly, like, not into it. But, girl, I wasn't into him when he got there. I'll be honest, these men that Lizzie dates...
Why is she dating these men?
She doesn't look like she would date these sort of men that she's dating.
Girl, get you an old player.
Player from the Himalayas. Right? Yeah. But she's not doing that. She's going for, I think, what she thinks is moneyed, right?
That ain't money.
No, because when they get to the end of the day, he goes, so this was a little more expensive than I expected it to be.
And they look like they was at a fancy Chili's.
Do you want to split it? Which is ridiculous to me because Lizzie didn't even drink anything. So if it's expensive and you're the one who's drinking, it's probably your fault.
Right.
So I would have been like, if I was Lizzie, I would have been like, I'll pay for what I ate. Thanks. My water and my little food.
My nuggets.
But Lizzie
splits
splits
it.
Looked
like they had.
She used to soda and nuggets. She really just got it.
Sorry, y'all.
But Lizzie ain't used to soda and nuggets. She used to spending $200 at the gas station.
That's right.
So she does say men ought to be able to afford women. You know, like Scott could afford me, which is not true because Scott is broke. But whatever.
He put on like he could.
So meanwhile, on the West Coast, we're gonna take a trip from the Midwest where Lizzie is to the West Coast where Scott lives. He went back out yonder, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so he is going on an actual blind date. And his
Wait, I thought that Scott lived in Connecticut.
Girl, he used to live in like California.
Okay, I don't remember.
Now I do know this.
Okay, maybe it is California.
Okay. Well, he wherever he's at, and he's with his best friend. You know, the adorable little black lady.
Charlene.
With the braids, yeah.
Charlene.
Yeah. Anyway, and she's helping him get dressed for the day. And she's like, look, whatever you do, don't mention Lizzie, because that's weird.
That's very strange.
Nobody want to know that, Scott.
Why Charlene don't want Scott? Clearly, Scott loves Charlene. He really is just looking for all these women, and he really just wants him some Char. Just come on, Charlene.
I don't think Charlene wants Scott.
You think Charlene like ladies?
No, I just think she don't like hot messes.
Oh,
It's in her best self-interest not to date that maniac. He crazy as hell, and he broke, and she know. So he goes on a date.
His is a blind date for real. I don't know who set this up, but his is a blind date.
This lady shows up looking like she got way too much sense.
But what we didn't know about his blind date before we found out about the blind date was that it was going to be a black date, because Scott get down with the brown. Okay,
that's all he get
down with.
Anyway, she don't look like she should be anywhere near Scott. She look like she got good sense. Like she
headed the finance committee down to the church.
She looked like she a manager at her job, right? This looks like anybody's sensible 40-year-old aunt, right?
I don't think that woman is 40.
50-year-old aunt.
She's not 50. That girl probably about 30-something.
Nah, she was older than us.
I'm not 30.
You keep doing this. We're a year away from 30, guys, okay? She's really like... I like the fact that I'm almost 30.
I'm 2 months away from 29.
More disposable income, and nobody thinks I'm my age. If people can think you're 25, but you have the money of a 30-year-old, I mean...
I don't have an issue with being 30. I'm just saying that this woman looks like she's like 36 maybe.
No, she looks like she got kids in college.
Really?
Yeah, I think you need to watch it again.
I didn't have my glasses on.
Oh, let me tell you a brief aside about glasses. We went to see Ari Lennox the other night, and she left her glasses in the car. We got in, and she was like, y'all, where's the stage?
I don't have any idea what Ari Lennox looked like, but you sounded beautiful, girl.
But anyway, outside of that, the lady just... I don't think she's ever seen the show. There's no way.
No, there's no way.
She looked like one of those people who be like, reality TV makes your mind mush, right?
Exactly. Like, I feel like she only watches documentaries and like maybe Super Soul Sunday.
She looks real kind and smart and important.
So anyway, so she is on this date with Scott, and he is telling his life story. And
exactly what Charlene told him not to do. She said, do not talk about Lindsay. He comes in and says, my ex was in prison. And I spent, like, how much money did he say?
150,000, something
Look,
like that.
more 100,000 than I have.
Right.
And the lady is like, you sound crazy.
She was like, so if I told you today, because he was like, you know, I'm just a man of my word. So I told her that I was going to help her, and even after we weren't together, I still gave her the money to get started, you know, after she got out of prison, because that's what I told her. She was like, okay, maybe a little honorable, but still cray-cray. She was like, so if I today told you that, you know, I was starting my own yoga business, and you agreed to help me at this time, if I never talk to you again and then hit you up a couple months later like, hey, Scott, what about that, you know, that money you told me you was going to give me for this yoga studio? Are you still going to do that? And he was like, well, actually, yeah.
Does that sound crazy?
I look.
And she kept it 10,000 with him. She was like, that sounds really crazy.
That sounds really crazy.
She's like, maybe.
And she was like, no, not sounds, is, and is crazy. It is.
She was like, and maybe you need a little therapy. Here, have a crab cake.
Have a crab cake.
It'll make you feel better.
And that's a good thing. That's good therapy. A crab cake.
He needs a doctor.
He does, but a crab cake is a good way to start.
So when she leaves the date, she's in her little confessional, and she's like, you know, I think that with a little therapy and a little time, Scott could be the ideal mate for someone. Not
for me.
Not me.
Let's not get it twisted.
Not me. I don't want to see him anymore.
Not for me. What was her name? Alexis Felicia. Not for her. I don't remember what your name was.
Pam. That's a good middle-aged black lady name. Pam.
Pam
don't want him.
Pam ain't interested.
Nope. So that's really Scott and Lizzie. They're a hot mess. Oh, at some point, Lizzie asked her coworker if he knows anybody. If he has a brother. He says, no, I have a sister. And she says, I used to do that in jail.
And he looked highly up.
But Lizzie is refreshing. She's honest, okay?
She is honest, but what she not honest about is these clothes and this hair.
Yeah, she need to pluck the parts on them wigs. You just a little tweezers, baby, and some pressed powder.
Yeah, do you
gotta make it look like a part.
And do you real nicely and throw that whole closet away.
All of it.
Anyway, our next couple that we're gonna talk about, let's talk about Brittany and Marcelino.
Marcelino.
No, it's
that's from Super Mario.
Marcelino. Don't you just want?
Oh, ain't he like Dominicano? Dominicano. I don't know. Anyway, Marcelino is military background, right? So I assume that those people are usually pretty well established, but Marcelino has decided, much like a lot of our brothers out here who decide to be rappers in their later life, he's decided.
Baby Nut.
Yeah, but I mean, Baby Nut, he got the background, he got the stories.
Stop.
I can see it more than what I'm about to tell you about Marcelino.
Okay, we'll talk about Baby Nut later.
Marcelino then decided that he wants to be a professional poker player. Which, I mean, that's a
thing.
It's a thing. But I don't feel like it's a thing that you decide after you done convinced this lady to get out of prison and marry you and have your babies. Right? That's how he's supporting them. She's a stay-at-home mother, and he's a poker player, which would be okay, but they have a newborn, and newborns require nighttime attention.
That's correct.
And that's when he's going to work.
And not only newborn, but then they got little Giovanni, and did they have him full time now?
I don't know. It seems like it.
Yeah, little Giovanni, and Giovanni's like what, 3, 4?
And unfortunately, Brittany has in my opinion, false sense of reality with motherhood. I know I've been the mother of a newborn. She's the aunt of 1,000 million kids. It's a lot of children, okay? It's a bunch of them. And she's doing this baby thing too, and she thinks that she should have more energy than she does, but really she shouldn't. I mean, it's hard. But she is being really hard on herself.
I think that Brittany not only is being hard on herself about that, I think she just really, really wants to do good. I think she really also wants to prove to her controlling, crazy husband that she does not need to be monitored at all times.
My mother-in-law is here again, guys.
She does not need to be monitored at all times, and she just really wants to prove to him, like, I'm not going to go back to prison. I'm not going to ruin my life. Like, just trust me. And I think that's why she has so much pressure on her to, like, be a good stay-at-home mom.
And to Brittany's credit, she looks great. She seems to have been doing great. And Marcelino is just crazy.
Both of them.
He's really controlling.
They definitely took notes from watching their self last season and was like, now we got to get some of this together.
And Marcelino doesn't like Brittany's current friends,
Sasha and Amanda,
because I think they're prison friends, and he's afraid that they will kind of in some way inspire recidivism. But this is what I will say about controlling men: they will find problems with any friends you have.
Correct.
And they will find a way to make it sound like their concerns are founded and valid, and a lot of times they're not. So I mean, he kind of has a point, but then again, he kind of doesn't, because at least in this sense, I understand that those are her prison friends, and I get that she has some pretty shady behavior with one of them last season, but they don't seem to be out here stealing cars and committing Grand Theft Auto.
And he didn't even want to give Amanda the daggone baby.
No. So there's that. That's really it for them.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I have.
So who got next?
Baby Nut. Lamar, Baby Nut.
We from the South.
Hey. And
Andrea, Black Woman Weave Lady. Shout out to Jade Next D again.
So, so yeah, let's talk about them. So their kind of scene opens up with Andrea and her daughter Nyla, who's so beautiful. I think her kids are very cute, and they are all far more intelligent and mature than their mother.
God takes care of
babies and fools.
And in this case, he has raised her children for her. Because
Child.
they got way more sense than any children raised by somebody as dumb as her could have.
I don't know.
The lady is off, okay?
But anyway, so they are in
Cali. I thought it was Iowa, but they've never lived anywhere near Iowa on this show.
Again, what show was she watching?
Apparently she's from Utah, but I just knew it was a place with a melanin deficiency. Okay. All right.
She's talking about Mormonism all the time. Utah is definitely kind of known for that, but whatever.
Sure.
Anyway, so they are at the, what is it, like
the corner store, the bodega. I'm guessing that they kind of live in a food desert, which is the problem in a lot of urban communities in America. So they're kind of at this corner store that should just sell Skittles, but they sell fruits and meats and all other things you don't want to eat.
I didn't like the way he was handling that meat.
Well, her daughter said that we're going to get food poisoning eating it.
Okay. Well, anyway, so she's like, they're getting the meat and everything. And she's like, so I'm going to do the ribs, and Nyla, you can fry the chicken. And Nyla was like, I'm not doing nothing.
Because she's mad at her stepdad.
Right. She's mad at Lamar because basically, the first season, the kids were really not even trying to fool with the fact that their mom was talking to Lamar.
Which made absolute sense because he was a strange guy.
I don't know who you are. Okay. Well, anyway, Lamar gets out. They form
a family.
They form a bond. Tennyson, her son, has a father figure, a man in the house. Nyla, her oldest daughter, has a male in the house to look up to as a father figure. And then the little baby,
who she knows is her
dad.
Yeah,
who she knows is her dad. So
he's not her dad.
They formed a good little family unit, and then Lamar goes back to prison.
Yeah, he was working. He was in school.
Yeah,
and it
just wrecks everything, and it really crushes their hearts, and it's very sad because, as far as I know, I don't think that any of their biological fathers have anything to do with them.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they're not. I don't know a biological father who would let the woman move a felon into the
house. But I feel like I remember in the first season, though, I feel like she said that all he did was pay child support. He doesn't do anything else.
I mean, if he did anything else, they wouldn't be in LA with her because there's no way.
It's just crazy.
I don't know a man with good sense who would have let her.
I don't know a man with good sense who just would pay child support and you just... Anyway, that's
they don't have. I mean, they have a daddy. Lamar's their daddy.
Lamar's their dad. But so anyway, so their dad goes back to prison, and they're just like,
it's devastating, right? Because she was a stay-at-home mom, so this like really causes upheaval in their household.
Yeah.
And on one side, Lamar wasn't really actively participating in any sort of bad activity, but he didn't change the element that he was hanging around.
Yeah,
so it's sort of like a wrong place, wrong time sort of thing. So I can see it from both sides. I can understand why Andrea is angry. I can understand how he feels like, damned if I do, damned if I don't, right?
But he just need to cut them people off, because if you feel like you riding with somebody who has a gun or could have a gun, it's a no, and you know.
But I also understand why, like, it's harder in that environment. That's why it would have been better for him to move to Utah, Iowa, wherever she lived. Well, they couldn't.
Remember,
he can't because of the and so that kind of sucks. But it's hard when you come home to just be like, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. Right. And I've never been in a gang, so I don't know what it's like to just be like, I'm unaffiliated.
You never been in a gang?
No.
I thought for sure you had.
Thug life.
Yeah, girl.
So I don't know how that works, right? So I can say what I think he should have done. I can say what I certainly am pretty sure I would have done because I'm very risk averse. So are you.
Don't speak for me. I take all the risks.
The risk of doing what?
I don't know.
Wearing white after Labor Day?
Oh, I'm dead.
Stop. She does speak in the movies though.
Okay.
I don't do that.
I used to. Why are you talking about like I did this last week?
Because I had to go see Seabiscuit alone, and it's still a joke.
We were like 15. I can't even stay awake in a movie now. I ain't sneaking into nothing.
If you needed to take a nap, you might.
Anyway, so while they're at the store, Andrea's buddies call from Utah.
They FaceTime because they always gotta.
They FaceTime her,
themselves.
And they're like, "Hey, girl," and she's like, "Oh, y'all are hanging out without me. I'm so sad."
And they're such idiots because they're like, "Do you
see all the celebrities
at the grocery
store, and you're just watching?"
Girl, she live in the project.
Child, they think Andrea to move to somewhere off Rodeo Drive.
She moved
ma'am.
to ungentrified. She moved to ungentrified country. Like the part that the whites ain't got yet.
Can
I say that on here? Okay, go ahead.
Who's coming to get you?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway. So yeah, so then she's like, oh no, ha 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 ha, no, that's not where I'm at. And so like they're asking her about Lamar and the whole situation with, you know, the kids and everything, and she goes into like full breakdown mode.
Ugly crying.
And she's ugly crying against the freezer.
Her daughter is
falling out the
her.
window. And then she throws her phone on top of the fruit. And let me just say, this is why we wash our fruit before we consume it. Okay, because we got people crying and throwing their phones, their dirty phones on top of fruit.
It was just
that's nasty.
Mad awkward. Her daughter is like hugging her again.
Yeah, again.
Her children have to
be the adult, and she's like, "Mom, it's okay." And she's like, "It's okay. We can do whatever if you want to move back to Utah. We're gonna move back to Utah."
Girl, you're not about to uproot my life again. So,
well, I'm sorry.
That's like a little glimpse into how she's doing, and then Baby Nut gets out of prison or jail. He's just in jail.
He's in jail.
Just did a few days in the county.
She goes and picks him up, and she was like, I had picked out a dress to go and get Lamar like I did the first time, but I'm just not feeling it. So she shows up in her blue hoodie and her jeans.
She look like she going to fight somebody's mama because their kid beat her kid up.
Yeah. Her blue hoodie and her jeans, and she's standing over there.
I don't even know why she own that hoodie. Is it his hoodie? It looks like a man's hoodie.
And Lamar gets out and he goes to the payphone and he's like, "Where you at?"
And because she's a child, she pretends she's not there, but she's right behind him. So he gets in the car, they go to the house.
Right.
Oh, on the way to the house, she lies and says she's sold
But no,
his
wait
car.
a minute. Before that, he's like, "But where my car at?"
Oh yeah.
And that was a whole thing. And I felt her on that.
She got upset.
Excuse me. I'm standing out here. I done been doing all this, holding everything down by myself, and you talking about where's your car? That's the first thing you say.
That was absolutely sucky. But I will say at the time, and this is what you get for assuming. I assumed that it was like some candy painted Impala. I didn't know it was a Benz. And I thought that his reaction to thinking that she sold it was outlandish, because she says, "Oh, I had to sell it when you got locked up because we needed the money." And he gets upset and he's like, "I worked really hard for that car. Like, you just don't understand." And I thought that was outlandish, because if they needed the money, they just needed the money. But also, then I saw what kind of car it was, and I was like, okay, I kind of get you being upset, but what are you doing buying this car? Like, I was just very...
And then he was like, "You know, I come from, we ain't really had much, so me getting that Benz, it really was like, it meant something to me." Okay,
so, but she's really childish. Why would you lie about that? Oh, because she was angry.
She was salty because that's what he said the first thing, so I get it.
I would have just said, you could have asked about me and not your car.
Okay, yeah, she real 5 with it, but I'm just saying, I got why she was upset, and they're both 5.
Girl, it went right over my head. I didn't get it.
Well, you're slow.
But anyway, so they get to the house. She still has the car. That's kind of it for them, right?
Yeah, I mean, and then basically I guess the next part is going to see what happens with the kids.
Yeah. So
anyway, that leads us to the last people. That's the
throuple.
We've got Michael, Sarah, and Megan, not the Stallion.
Not the Stallion. No, it ain't a hot girl summer for her.
Okay, so, go ahead.
Okay, so, Michael is married to Sarah, and they have babies. They have one on the way. And Megan is his side chick, who actually last season thought she was his fiance, but now knows she's his side chick. She kind of got into it with his wife, his mom, and his sister. Nobody likes Megan except him. And he is another one that went back to prison, right? He just liked it there, or jail, or wherever he went. Wherever you go that you are not free. He was there. And so in this episode, everybody's going to get him from prison.
Except for Sarah,
his wife.
She's 9 months pregnant.
So his mom and his sister show up, and then Megan drives she's from Texas. She's the one who's from Texas.
Is she?
Girl, yeah, I heard her say it. So she comes from Texas to get him because they need to have a conversation, because at the end of last season, she finds out he's married. Oh, also, she was a virgin before she started messing with him, and she gave him her virginity. Then she finds out that he's married. So she needs to talk to him about why you always lying. Why you always lying? Oh my God. I just wanted to get to that part. But they have to discuss that. So she talks to his mom and his sister, who are basically like, well, not even his sister. Because the sister doesn't want anything.
The sister wants nothing to do
They
with
had a Twitter beef.
She's getting in this Twitter beef and then beef in this spat with this little girl. How Day-Day's got to be like 17 years old.
She's a youngin'.
Right.
That's what they do. They argue on the internet.
Going back and forth with this little girl. I'm not going back and forth with you. You're a
child.
child.
You know why I'm not going back and forth with you? Because I'm living my best life. Okay.
That's enough of the musicals.
I just thought. But anyway, Dada doesn't want to talk to her. The mom does come to talk to her. The mother, back to our 2006 fashions, has on a Rockaware jacket.
Rockaware. She is Rockaware-ing it.
Yes.
Okay.
But you can tell jokes though. So she comes, gets in the car with Megan. His mom is pretty messy.
Very messy.
She's a messy person.
Because she was, we saw in the last season, where she was basically talking to Megan. Aware of what was going on. Now, you know your son is married, but you're talking to his girlfriend on the phone. You cheesing and waving and, you know, smiling with your crunchy pony. And you wasn't saying nothing about that. But now, all of a sudden, you're so Team Sarah.
Yeah, now it's, when did you find out he was married?
Like, come on now.
You didn't care he was married. You were complicit in this nonsense.
Exactly. And that's where I feel like, I'm not saying that Megan is not wrong, but I feel like, you know, y'all are all gassed now because the crap didn't hit the fan. But it's just like, where was all this same energy when you knew that your son was in the wrong?
If Megan had left when she found out he was married, she wouldn't have been wrong in this situation at all. But they all would have been. Because it's like, what kind of manipulative, terrible, awful person do you have to be complicit in your son's wrongdoing like this and help drag an innocent person into it? Exactly. Right? Because at the time she was.
She was.
Now she just a side chick.
All right.
With bad fashions.
Very bad.
Bad fashions. Yeah. Okay, so the mom basically is like, you can't come to my house, but I get why you feel like you need to talk to him.
Right, and that's fine, but...
and they sort of kind of squash it.
And then she goes and she was like, I want my own moment with my son, so like when he comes out, I want to get out of the car and I want to have my moment with him before you get out. And
but I'm going to be honest with you. If my son was in and out of jail, to hell with a moment. Who cares?
Well, this is apparently what they do.
I guess. The ghetto.
We go and we wear these coats, and we go and hug at jails. Like, that's what we do.
He would have to catch an Uber home if he kept going back.
Well,
I'm not coming to get you.
Megan. So
they go to this dreadful restaurant.
Wait a minute. No, we have to rewind. So then, when Megan gets out to have her moment, he's like, oh, hey, babe, you looking good. Lies you tell. What did she have on? She wasn't look good at all. Why you lie to her?
Megan's life is a struggle, but his life is a struggle too. And as you said, there's someone for everyone.
I mean,
also, Michael,
not that he look good.
Michael gets out of jail and he has on this same DH Supreme Louis Vuitton combo belt that he wore all last season. It's his favorite belt. He got locked up in it. It's his belt. So he has that belt.
Yeah, so he's out there, you know, and he's looking at Megan up and down, and she's over there feeling herself. She's squinted to the side. Thank you.
Like, you like he didn't just lie to you and ruin your life.
Right. Anyway.
Then she takes him to the dreadful restaurant.
So then we go to this restaurant.
It's dreadful.
That looks like it has
corned beef hash sandwiches.
Okay, but they probably do. But
chipped
I
beef
keep
sandwiches.
telling you that people like corned beef hash and chipped beef up north.
That stuff comes in a can.
Okay, a lot of things come in a can.
You eat meat out of a can?
I don't like it.
I'm taking you to a doctor.
I don't like it.
Okay.
But my family does.
I'm taking them to...
Shut up. That's when my mom yells at you. Anyway.
Her mom kicks me out of the house all the time. I'm like Roger from Sister. Go home, Roger.
But anyway, so yeah, they go to this restaurant and they're sitting down at the restaurant and Megan's like, okay, so we need to talk. And she's like, why?
She real aggressive too.
Why
that's how she talks.
Did you tell me? Why she get so ghetto all the time? Why she always here with it?
Cause like, girl, that's her ghetto boyfriend. She got a black tint too when she talked to him.
I'm like, geez, chill out. But anyway, so she's like, why, so how many other girls was it? And why didn't you tell me that you was married? And she pretty much just shooting off all the stuff that she has been wanting to ask him. And so he's sitting there and he's just, you know, eating his Ruffles chips.
Why she ain't writing in a letter before?
I don't know, but why was they eating Ruffles chips at this restaurant?
I told you it was dreadful. It's a dreadful restaurant.
He eating his sandwich and his Ruffles chips.
If I come to your restaurant and you feed me stuff that I eat at the family reunion cookout, I'm not paying.
I don't eat that at the family reunion cookout. I ate that in my lunch in 3rd grade.
Your family don't have Ruffles at the cookout?
No, we have real food. We no goddamn Ruffles at a cookout. That's foolishness.
We have stuff, but we have chips too.
We don't have chips.
Yeah.
We have real sides.
The kids need chips.
I ain't been a kid in a long time.
I always eat the kids' chips.
Anyway, so he's basically like, she was like, so do you love Sarah? And he's like, yeah,
I love her.
Yeah, I love Sarah.
Oh, so you in love with Sarah. But girl, why do it matter? That's his wife.
No.
No,
I'm not in love with her. And so she's like, so what you saying is that you gon' get a divorce. Like, you gonna be moving towards getting divorced or isn't it? Yeah, I mean, yeah, when I get situated, I am. No, you're not.
Mike is just a lying ninja, right?
He one of them people that ain't gonna never get
like
situated.
A rug. He lies.
He not gonna get situated with what?
The whole thing, he just comes off as insincere.
Mm-hmm.
As insincere as his belt. So, basically, that's what they talk about. But while they are on their little tete-a-tete at this nasty restaurant, his sister, being the messy person she is, texts his wife and says, hey, you just need to know that Mike is at the restaurant with
Megan.
Yeah.
And so they're like, she's got her and her friend, the one with this dreadful...
And they're at like a baby consignment store.
And they're looking for the clothes for the baby because Sarah's about to pop at any moment.
She's like,
and she's looking more and more like Jay Leno in the face every episode.
And I don't know if you watched it last season, but there was a friend that would never go home. She was always around at inappropriate moments. She's there.
She's still there. Yeah. I really think that friend would like to take Michael's place. I think she got a little something for Sarah.
Why do you think that?
She's a little strong.
Anyway. So Sarah is like, I am boiling hot. I am on a stove.
And if he leaves the ion, I am going to, well, I don't know,
explode.
Something else lame that she said.
Okay.
Like, stop.
And then she stormed out of the store in her 2006 fashions to the car.
F y'all, F everybody. I don't want to talk to nobody. Like, oh my gosh. I'm so over her dramatic exits only to still be doing the same thing the next time we see you. You're not going to leave this man.
Okay.
You're going to keep crying. You're going to keep looking like Jay Leno. All this stuff is going to keep happening.
And the story basically ends, or their story basically ends with her FaceTiming him and him saying, we can get a divorce.
Do you want a divorce or what? And she don't, she not saying anything. But then also, there's this big secret that Megan has to tell Mike that we still don't know what it is.
Okay, and so I believe Megan is pregnant.
I don't think Megan's pregnant.
Okay, and she believes.
I think that Megan had sex with somebody else.
Watch here next week to find out what it is. I think.
Okay, we can't say that because we don't know what they're.
Hopefully,
as long as they
we'll find out what.
As long as they drew out the original throuple thing with Sarah and Megan and all that was a whole 2.5 months. So we could not figure out what this daggone secret is until next year. Who knows?
Well, hopefully we know soon, y'all. I want to know.
But yeah, those are our predictions. So as always, we do our 3 hearts.
3 hearts. What are yours?
My 3 hearts were seeing. Okay, first heart is seeing the fact that Lizzie is, even though a hot mess, she's doing good. Mm-hmm. She's holding down her job. She has a good relationship with Jasmine.
She looks healthy.
She looks healthy, and she doesn't look cracked out or drugged out or whatever she was on. So that was my first heart. Second heart is seeing Brittany with the baby and her babies, and she's doing well and everything like that. And then my third heart was this date between Sister Girl and Scott. That was just a whole funny thing because she just looked like, why did I end up on it? Like, who set you up, girl? Who set you up on this? This is a mess. Anyway, so those are my 3 hearts. What are yours?
Okay, so my 3 hearts, I think we pulled from the same things. I I love about Lizzie her realness, right? She seems to stand up in her truth. She seems to own everything. She seems to be in this mode where she's taking ownership of her life and all her choices. And I really like that about her. My second heart is the flowers that Scott gave his date.
Oh, they were beautiful.
Those were nice.
Oh,
Scott
I love those colors.
So thoughtful. And then my third heart is just Lamar getting out of jail because I love him. Okay, I really like Lamar.
I really do like Baby Doll.
He seems like
as much as we laugh at him, like I really feel like if Lamar would just hone in and get himself together, I feel like he would be like I like them together. I really do.
And also, Lamar seems like somebody I know, right? He just seems like somebody you know from somewhere.
Yeah, somebody cousin or something.
Yeah, so I like Lamar. I'm glad he got out. And he seems to want to fix things with his family, at least right now. But his wife is crazy. I don't like her. So we'll see. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes. So we will be back next week with another episode of Love After Lockup and the Snack Chat. And you guys, please stay tuned. Please put your 3 hearts down in the comments. We want to know what you think. And if you have any suggestions for any TV shows or any topics that you want us to talk about, let us know. And we will see you next week. Thank you so much.
Subscribe.